The alien queen left her 2 daughters with me. Unexpected encounters await. The unexpected arrival. The amber glow of Verdalus's twin suns painted long shadows across Marcus Chen's research station as he calibrated the atmospheric processors for the evening cycle. 3 years of solitary work on this frontier world had given him a comfortable routine, one that shattered the moment his emergency beacon erupted in a cascade of unfamiliar harmonics. Through the biodome's transparent aluminum panels, he watched a ship unlike anything in the colonial fleet descend through the atmosphere. Its hull shimmered like liquid crystal, refracting the sunset into prismatic ribbons that danced across the landscape. The vessel settled gracefully beside his habitat, its landing struts barely disturbing the purple grass. Marcus grabbed his environmental suit, though the atmosphere outside was breathable, barely. His heart raced as the ship's iris door spiraled open with a musical chime. 2 figures emerged, and he forgot to breathe. The first woman stepped forward with unmistakable confidence, her violet skin seeming to capture and reflect the dying light. Auburn hair cascaded past her shoulders, framing features that were both alien and breathtakingly beautiful. She moved with a dancer's grace, each step deliberate yet flowing. Behind her, a second figure emerged more cautiously. Where her companion was bold, she was ethereal, skin like polished pearl with the faintest shimmer, midnight blue hair cut short to frame delicate features. Her eyes, when they met his, held depths of intelligence that made him feel suddenly exposed. Marcus Chen. The violet-skinned woman's voice carried a melodious accent. I am Zara of House Stellaris. This is my sister, Nissa. Our mother, Empress Valara, sends her regrets that she cannot explain in person. She produced a holographic message crystal. Marcus watched, stunned, as a regal figure materialized, clearly the sister's mother, though bearing characteristics of both. The Empress's message was brief but shocking. A critical peace negotiation required her immediate attention, and she needed somewhere safe for her daughters. His research on interspecies botanical compatibility had caught her attention. Would he serve as their guardian? This is unexpected, Marcus managed, acutely aware of how inadequate the word was. Zara laughed, a sound like silver bells. Mother specializes in the unexpected. We promise not to be too much trouble. Her smile suggested otherwise. Nissa stepped forward, offering a traditional human handshake she'd clearly researched. We're grateful for your hospitality. I've read your published work on xenobotany. Your theories on convergent evolution in flora are fascinating. As the suns dipped below the horizon, Marcus realized his ordered world had just become infinitely more complex. First impressions. The biodome's interior sparked with bioluminescent lights as the evening cycle activated. Marcus watched Zara spin in a slow circle, her eyes wide with wonder at the carefully cultivated garden that served as both his research laboratory and living space. Terrace platforms held specimens from 12 different worlds, their varied colors and forms creating an almost dreamlike landscape. This is magnificent! Zara exclaimed, reaching toward a cluster of Altarian singing flowers. They chimed softly at her approach, their petals shifting through a spectrum of blues. On our world, we have something similar, but they only sing during the rain season. Careful with those, Marcus warned gently. They release spores when they're happy. Harmless, but they'll turn your skin temporarily orange. Nissa had gravitated toward his research station, her fingers hovering over the holographic displays showing genetic sequences and growth patterns. You're attempting to create hybrid species that could survive on multiple worlds, she observed. The implications for colonization are remarkable. That's the goal, Marcus replied, impressed by her quick comprehension. If we can develop food sources that adapt to various environments, it could solve so many settlement challenges. He prepared dinner while the sisters explored, stealing glances at them both. Zara had found his collection of earth plants, laughing delightedly at the Venus flytrap's snapping motion. Nissa was absorbed in his research notes, occasionally making soft sounds of interest. Do all humans eat heated food? Zara asked as they gathered around his small table. The meal was simple, synthesized proteins with fresh vegetables from the garden. Most of us, yes. Though we have cold dishes too. Marcus watched, fascinated, as she examined her fork with curiosity before mimicking his movements. What do you typically eat? Our food is different, Nissa explained, taking small, experimental bites. We absorb nutrients primarily through specialized foods that are partially light-based. This is interesting. She smiled softly. The textures are unexpected but pleasant. Zara was less reserved, trying everything with enthusiasm. Oh, this one has heat. She'd found the pepper splice he'd been cultivating. Her violet skin flushed deeper, but she laughed. I like it. It's like the sensation of diving through a solar flare. You've dived through solar flares? Marcus asked, alarmed. In protected suits, of course, she winked. I'm adventurous, not reckless. Usually. They talked late into the night cycle. Zara regaled him with tales of their homeworld, cities that floated on crystallized atmosphere, seas that glowed with bioluminescent tides. Nissa quietly corrected her sister's embellishments while adding scientific context that fascinated Marcus even more. Your parents must be proud, he said. You're both remarkable. The sisters exchanged a glance. Mother says we're complementary, Nissa replied softly. Zara dreams, and I calculate the probability of those dreams. And sometimes, Zara added, reaching over to squeeze her sister's hand, we both surprise each other. Growing connections. Morning on Verdalis arrived with a gentle cascade of blue light as the first sun crested the horizon. Marcus found Nissa already awake, standing perfectly still in the garden's meditation circle, her pearl-white skin literally glowing with a soft internal radiance. It's how we greet the day, she explained when she noticed him. We photosynthesize partially, not enough to sustain us entirely, but it helps with energy regulation. She tilted her head. Would you like to try? The meditation part, I mean. Marcus joined her, and she guided him through breathing exercises that seemed to synchronize with the plants around them. Her voice was soothing, and when she gently adjusted his posture, her touch sent unexpected warmth through him. Marcus. Nissa. Zara's voice broke the peaceful moment. She bounded over, somehow looking perfectly put together despite having just woken. I challenge you to a contest. Let's see who can identify the most species in your garden. Loser makes breakfast. We just ate breakfast yesterday, Marcus laughed. Then loser makes lunch, she declared, already darting toward the Centurion section. The competition was playful chaos. Zara's enthusiasm was infectious, and she had an uncanny ability to spot the tiniest specimens hidden among larger plants. Marcus found himself distracted by her graceful movements and the way her face lit up with each discovery. She caught him staring once and winked, causing him to misidentify a simple earth daisy as something far more exotic. Nissa chose not to compete, instead serving as judge. Her quiet humor emerged as she arbitrated their increasingly ridiculous claims. When Zara insisted a rock was actually a dormant silicon-based life form, Nissa's laughter rang out, a rare, beautiful sound that made both Marcus and Zara pause. As the second sun reached its zenith, they settled in the shade of a massive fern tree hybrid. Zara had won by a narrow margin, though Marcus suspected Nissa had been generous with some of her sister's identifications. On our world, Zara said, lying back on the soft grass, competitions like this determine social standing. But they're also how we show interest. She glanced at Marcus meaningfully. Zara, Nissa warned softly, but her sister continued. What? It's true. And Marcus should know our customs if we're staying here. She rolled onto her side, propping her head on her hand. For instance, when someone from our world finds another attractive, we should probably learn human customs first, Nissa interrupted, her cheeks flushing with an opalescent sheen, to avoid misunderstandings. Marcus felt the temperature in the dome had suddenly increased. Well, humans typically. We usually start with getting to know each other, sharing interests, spending time together. Like we're doing now. Zara asked innocently, though her smile was anything but. Yes, he admitted, his gaze drifting between both sisters. Exactly like this. Hearts entwined. The atmospheric processor's warning klaxon shattered the peaceful afternoon. Marcus rushed to the control panel, his fingers flying across the haptic interface as red warnings cascaded across the display. "Primary circulation failure," he muttered. "If I don't fix this in the next hour, we'll lose half the garden." Without hesitation, both sisters moved to help. Zara grabbed the emergency toolkit while Nissa pulled up the technical specifications on her personal device. Apparently, she'd been studying his systems. "The coupling in Section 7 is corroded," Nissa diagnosed quickly. "But the access tunnel is too narrow for." "I can fit," Zara announced, already shimmying into the maintenance shaft. "Just tell me what to do." They worked in perfect synchronization. Nissa guided her sister through the repairs while Marcus rerouted power from secondary systems. Zara's progress updates were peppered with jokes that kept the tension from overwhelming them. When she emerged 40 minutes later, covered in bio-coolant but triumphant, Marcus impulsively pulled her into a hug. She melted against him for a moment, and when they pulled apart, her violet eyes were dark with something that made his pulse race. They stood frozen, inches apart, until Nissa's soft cough broke the spell. "The system's stable," Nissa reported, though her expression was unreadable. That evening, as they celebrated with a special dinner Marcus had prepared, the atmosphere was charged with unspoken feelings. Zara sat closer to him than usual, their arms occasionally brushing. Each contact sent electricity through him. "Among our people," Nissa said suddenly, "we express deep emotions through bioluminescent patterns. It's involuntary when the feelings are strong." As if to demonstrate, subtle waves of light began pulsing beneath her pearl skin, creating intricate patterns that were hauntingly beautiful. "Nissa," Zara said softly, but her sister continued. "You should know, Marcus, that both of us, we've developed feelings. It's unusual, we've never been drawn to the same person before." The lights under her skin intensified, painting the room in shifting patterns. Marcus's breath caught. Zara reached over, taking his hand. "We don't expect you to understand our ways, or to feel the same. But we believe in honesty." He looked between them, Zara's bold confidence barely masking vulnerability, Nissa's quiet intensity revealed through her luminescent display. His carefully ordered world hadn't just become complex, it had transformed into something beautiful and terrifying. He started, then stopped. How could he explain that he was drawn to both of them? Zara's passionate nature that challenged him to live more fully, and Nissa's depth that touched something profound within him? "You don't have to say anything," Nissa whispered, though the hope in her eyes betrayed her words. "But if you wanted to," Zara added with a small smile, "we're excellent listeners." Under alien stars. The nocturnal bloom only happened once every 30 days, when both moons aligned perfectly. Marcus had planned this expedition for weeks, but now, leading the sisters through the twilight forest beyond the dome, it felt like destiny. They wore biosuits that adjusted to the dropping temperature, the fabric shimmering faintly in the darkness. The path was lit by phosphorescent fungi that Nissa examined with scientific fascination while Zara danced ahead, her laughter echoing through the alien trees. "There," Marcus pointed to a clearing where massive flower buds waited. In about 10 minutes, when the moons reached their apex. They settled on a blanket he'd brought, the three of them forming a comfortable triangle. Above, the aurora began its nightly display, ribbons of green and gold streaming across the star-filled sky. "On our world," Zara said softly, "there's a saying, hearts that beat under foreign stars learn truths that home never teaches." "Zara's actually quoting poetry correctly for once," Nissa teased gently. Her bioluminescence had returned, subtler now, pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. The first bloom began, petals unfurling in slow motion, releasing spores that glowed like earthbound stars. Soon the entire clearing was transformed into a galaxy in miniature. Marcus heard both sisters gasp in wonder. "It's beautiful," Zara breathed, then turned to him. "Thank you for sharing this." "You've shared so much with me," Marcus replied, his voice thick with emotion. "Your stories, your culture, your presence.
These past days,
I've felt more alive than I have in years." Nissa moved closer, her hand finding his in the darkness. "We've felt it too. This connection. It transcends species, worlds, everything we thought we knew." Zara took his other hand, and for a moment, they sat in perfect harmony, watching the blooms dance in the gentle breeze. "Mother will return in 3 weeks," she said quietly. "But we don't have to leave. Not if there's reason to stay." Marcus squeezed both their hands. "I've spent so long studying how different species can coexist, creating hybrids that bridge worlds. But you've both taught me something I never expected, that the heart doesn't care about differences. It only recognizes what feels right." "Is this right?" Nissa asked, her vulnerability touching. He turned to look at them both, these remarkable beings who had crashed into his orderly existence and transformed it into something extraordinary. "I've never been more certain of anything." Zara leaned against his shoulder while Nissa rested her head against his other side. Above them, the aurora painted stories across the sky, and around them, the blooms continued their ancient dance. In that moment, under alien stars, 3 hearts from different worlds beat in perfect synchronization, creating their own unique harmony. The future was uncertain, filled with challenges they couldn't yet imagine. But as the night embraced them, none of that mattered. They had found something rare and precious, a connection that transcended the vast distances between stars. 1. Embracing the unexpected. Marcus's ordered, solitary life is completely disrupted by the sisters' arrival. Instead of resisting, he opens himself to the experience. Life's most meaningful moments often come from unplanned circumstances. Staying flexible and welcoming change can lead to extraordinary experiences. 2. Unity through diversity. Despite being from different worlds and species, the characters find common ground through shared interests: science, nature, discovery. Our differences enrich rather than divide us when we approach them with curiosity and respect. 3. Complementary strengths. Zara and Nissa represent different approaches to life, bold enthusiasm versus quiet intelligence. Both are valuable, and Marcus appreciates each for their unique qualities. There's no single right way to be. Different personalities and approaches can harmonize beautifully. 4. Vulnerability as courage. When Nissa reveals her feelings through involuntary bioluminescence, and when both sisters honestly express their emotions, they demonstrate that sharing our true feelings takes tremendous courage and can deepen connections. 5. Knowledge and wonder can coexist. Marcus is a scientist, yet he still experiences awe at the nocturnal blooms. Nissa analyzes everything but still feels wonder. Understanding how something works doesn't diminish its beauty. Science and emotion enhance each other. 6. Communication transcends language. The characters bridge their cultural gaps through actions, shared experiences, and emotional honesty. True connection goes beyond words. Working together, sharing meals, and experiencing beauty together creates understanding. 7. Love doesn't follow rules. The unconventional situation, 2 sisters both developing feelings for the same person, across species boundaries, shows that genuine emotions don't conform to expectations or conventions. 8. Collaboration in crisis. When the atmospheric processor fails, each person contributes their unique skills. Challenges are best faced together, with each person's strengths compensating for others' limitations. 9. Home is where you choose to bloom. The sisters have the option to stay despite their mother's return. Marcus has made a life on a remote planet. Home isn't just where you're from, but where you choose to grow and who you choose to grow with. 10. Present over perfect. The future is uncertain, with many challenges ahead, yet they choose to appreciate the moment under the stars. Waiting for perfect circumstances means missing the imperfect but beautiful present.